Please stand and remove your hats for our national anthem. Please remain standing for the invocation, which will be given by Reverend David Piltz.
Good afternoon, faculty, professional staff, guests, family members, and of course, the graduating class of 2021. Welcome and peace and blessings to each of you. In a year like none other, and I think that can be said in truth, this time of celebration of achievement is a marker of perseverance, fortitude, adaptability, strength, and courage. At this time, take a moment and reflect on this achievement of finishing academic pursuits in the face of loss, uncertainty, fear, economic instability, violence, injustice, and inequity. Your achievement clearly demonstrates strength in the face of adversity. In fact, let us recognize that your life is more than what you have learned, more than your accomplishments, more than your successes. It is about the relationships you have made with each other and the relationship you have with the sacred. May this time of celebrating achievements and accomplishments that you have worked so hard at completing demonstrate your gifts and your connectedness to each other in this world, a global connectedness that leaves your footprints wherever you journey. May this time of celebration of your human accomplishment also be a time of heeding the call of your soul to be connected to each other, the world, and the sacred. May each of you recognize with gratitude, patience, kindness, openness, hope, and honor the sacredness in not only your daily lives, but specifically in you reaching this great accomplishment. The active presence of the sacred is invoked here in this place during this time of celebration and graduation. Graduation is just one milestone in your journey of life, a time for acceptance and gratitude for your discernment of your life's call. May this time mark not only a milestone in your life's journey, but also the beginning of discerning your life's work in this world. May you create a life built on the foundation of knowledge, creativity, entrepreneurship, hope, healing, love, peace, gratitude, and blessings that flow through the sacred. And may peace and blessings follow you every day, all the day long.
Please be seated. Please welcome President John Fry.
Thank you, Minister Peltz, and welcome everyone this afternoon. This is such a great day, and we're also deeply fortunate. We're fortunate to be able to gather together and virtually as the Dornsife School of Public Health, whose research makes the world safer and healthier. We are fortunate to be successfully emerging from such a challenging time for our university and for all of our communities. And most of all, we are fortunate to be able to celebrate the members of this outstanding class who will graduate today. So on this day of celebration and joy, let me be the first to say congratulations to the truly amazing class of 2021. We are so very proud of your accomplishments and wish you the best of success as you join thousands of other proud Drexel alumni. I hope you savor this milestone in your academic career and on your life's journey. You deserve all the accolades and more. This class has pushed the boundaries of academic and research excellence and set new standards for civic engagement. And if the past year has taught us anything, it's taught us how incredibly resilient all of you are. You've learned already that you are entering into a challenging and complex world. And more than ever, it is a world that desperately needs you. It needs the many contributions you will make in your places of work and throughout your communities. You hold in your hands the long-term health, equity, and prosperity of our society. How you make use of the knowledge you have worked so hard to acquire will determine our collective future. It has been said, wisely, that the success of our society and our democracy rests upon our willingness to think of each other and not only of ourselves. My hope is that you will fully embrace this principle, that you will step up in your communities, and that you will take on the solemn responsibility of leadership wherever you go. Knowing this class of 2021, I have no doubt that we can look ahead with great confidence. We can contemplate the truly exciting and deeply necessary ways in which you will contribute. Our university is a profoundly better place for your efforts. Our capacity for knowledge, for innovation, and for service to others is so much greater thanks to each of you. And that's what we celebrate today at Commencement. I want to extend a warm welcome to our commencement speaker, Kenneth Olden, who created a legacy of promoting excellence in interdisciplinary and community-engaged environmental health research during his distinguished service with the National Institutes of Health. I know he'll have many insights to share with us this afternoon. So let me close by saying to our graduates, all of us at Drexel look forward to hearing about your future successes in scholarship, in your professions, and in your communities. And I want you to know also that all of us at Drexel University hold each of you deeply in our hearts. Once again, congratulations on your graduation. And now it's my honor to introduce Ana Diaz-Rue, the Dean of the Dornsife School of Public Health.
Good afternoon. I am pleased to announce that the members of the Dornsife School of Public Health faculty and administration are assembled with the students whom they have taught, mentored, and recommended for academic degrees. I also want to extend a welcome to the families and friends of students and to special guests who are joining us today, including Dr. Kenneth Olden, our keynote speaker today. Dear graduating students, first of all, congratulations on graduating this year, the year of 2021. I wish I could say that in all the languages that represent all the cultures and countries and communities from which our students come. I can speak one other language, so I'll say felicitaciones a todos, and I hope this represents all the other languages that I can't speak today. I don't need to tell you that you are graduating at a truly unprecedented time, not just for public health, but also for our society and our world in its entirety. We have seen the COVID pandemic sweep through our city, our countries, our world. It has shined a bright light on the many challenges that we face in achieving health for all, challenges that are not new, but that were made visible and more urgent by the pandemic. The challenge of health inequities by race, class, neighborhood, and country. The challenge of structural inequalities and systemic racism so closely entwined with our history and the way in which our society is organized. The challenge of having in place the systems and resources that allow us to respond to all public health threats in ways that are evidence-based, coordinated, efficient, and fair. We have seen the growth of a social movement against racism and a recognition more than ever before of the fundamental role that racism and structural inequities play in health. All of the issues that we study, that you have studied in public health, that we learn how to act and advocate for, are front and center of today's world. We have seen the importance of data, information, and evidence in guiding us. We have seen the fundamental importance of public health practice and public health infrastructure, but also of policy more broadly, social policy and economic policy for health. We have also seen starkly illustrated like never before the connections between our society and our health, the key roles of segregation, racism, income inequality, work conditions, environmental factors, healthcare access, among others. You have read and discussed and learned about all of these things in your classes, but like no other graduating class, you have seen them play out in real time before you. Why don't we have data on health outcomes by race? What do we need to do to ensure that the data that we have is accurate and timely and available for all to see? How should we ensure that testing and vaccination is available to all? How can we create a healthcare system that is universal and covers everyone, regardless of race, class, income, work, or citizenship, and that ensures that we have an efficient way to deliver things like tests and vaccines? Why do we not have the public health infrastructure necessary to respond quickly and based on science and not fear or myths or bias? How can we communicate clearly and consistently about health threats while acknowledging that we do not know everything and that what we do know changes over time? And last but not least, how can we engage the people, empowering them to understand what really drives their health so that we as a society can act on the fundamental drivers of population health and of inequities in health? You have learned about all of this. You have the knowledge, the tools, the skills to make a difference. But perhaps most importantly, you have acquired the three core values of public health: the critical value of truth and scientific rigor, a commitment to social justice, equity and inclusion, and a key awareness of the responsibility we have to use what we know to make our world better for everyone. The pandemic has highlighted the many things that are not right about our world, but it has opened the door, just a crack, to a different way of organizing ourselves to promote the health and quality of life of all of us. A world that is more fair and equitable, where there is no racism, where work is safer and secure, where everyone has access to health care and decent housing, where neighborhoods are green and walkable, where there are less cars, less air pollution, lower energy use and greenhouse gas emissions, where everyone can live life to its fullest potential. The door is ajar, so stick your foot in it and don't let it close. You have the three key tools at your disposal. You have your knowledge, your skills, and your values. So go out there and use them. Congratulations again to the class of 2021. It is now my pleasure to introduce Puja Patel. Puja is a 2021 Masters of Public Health graduate in Health Management and Policy. Originally from St. Louis, she graduated from St. Louis University in 2019 with a Bachelor of Sciences in Health Management. Her public health interests are in mental and behavioral health, maternal and child health, and Medicaid policy. Puja will address us on behalf of the graduate class of 2021.
Thank you for your introduction. Before I begin, I would like to thank the faculty, peers, and loved ones in my life for their support throughout my time at Drexel. It is an honor to speak today, and while we cannot be here together, I want to wish congratulations to the Dornsife class of 2021. Our class's time at Dornsife has been nothing short of unusual. However, I am consistently in awe of the unwavering strength and camaraderie that is shared among peers. We came from so many different places, some of us after a few career changes, some of us from another country, and some directly from their undergrad. Even though we came from so many places, we all chose to study public health with a similar idea. We saw the impact that it would allow for us to have in the world around us. We were all called to public health with a commitment to health being a human right. When reflecting on my time at Dornsife, a few thoughts always come to mind. The power of community, the importance and scope of public health, and the need for us to continue to envision a world where marginalized communities do not experience the health disparities that we see today. The world around us is vastly different than when we started our journey at Dornsife. We have seen the COVID-19 pandemic, racism, and the political climate impact every level of public health around us. We've witnessed its impacts on a personal basis, whether it was with friends, family, or ourselves. Throughout it all, I like to think that we actually began to embody health as a human right. We started to use our knowledge and experiences to advocate for ourselves, our peers, and within our communities for evidence-based, trauma-informed practices, and those showed through our care and check-ins with peers and loved ones. I, like many in our class, had previously been asked, what is public health, when I told somebody that I chose to pursue a career in public health. When we came to campus, we were told public health is everything. And while that is true, I think that the last year has shown us that everything is a bit of an understatement. While we may not have to explain what public health is now because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we need to put a greater focus on how we look at public health beyond health conditions. We have learned that public health is beyond access to health care and spread of communicable disease. While those are crucial elements, racism, housing, access to food, and a multitude of other factors beyond individual control impact health for minoritized and marginalized populations. And those are public health as well. We have experienced how systemic inequalities exacerbate a public health crisis and the need to address not only the current public health emergencies, but also to address the factors that cause them with preventative care and prevent the initial disparities, as well as provide needed reparations for the harm those disparities have caused for multiple generations. We are officially beginning our careers in public health during a time where public health can be such a great asset. If not anything else, I hope that we all leave knowing that it is not enough to continuously learn and unlearn, but it is continuously needed to translate that knowledge into practice and to be with the communities that we serve throughout our careers. And to hear the lived experiences and needs that those communities share. We as public health professionals have a duty to be accountable for our decisions and to hold each other accountable as well. Understanding the root causes of why health disparities exist and their impact is only the first step. We must ask ourselves how we can be doing better and what systems are causing harm. We must embrace the process of envisioning a world where health is truly a human right for everyone, regardless of identity, place of residence, or status. This freedom dreaming is a way that we can truly become agents of change in our communities by examining how structures are inequitable, discriminatory, and how we can dismantle these systems or reimagine them to serve everyone, everywhere. I recently read Clarity and Connections by Young Pueblo, and he said, "It is up to us to envision and enact a new standard of society, to deeply realize the value of human life, so that the compassionate treatment of all people becomes a guiding principle that dictates how we design our communities, institutions, and nations." This felt like a perfect summary of what I hope that our class will continue to work towards. We have the clarity of understanding structural causes that calls for us as public health professionals to implement change, but we also have the connections with each other to help us on this journey. Going through graduate school during a pandemic is no small feat, and I hope that through our professional journeys, we can continue to call on each other as a community. I would like to encourage us to continue to explore what it means to make health as a human right. Our time at Dornsife has equipped us with the skills and knowledge to go forth and to work with populations at a multitude of levels to enact real and sustainable change in health outcomes. Together, we can embody the ideals of pursuing health as a human right and making it actually a reality, because public health truly is everything. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oops, sorry. Thank you very much, Puja, for your remarks, and congratulations on your graduation. It is now my pleasure to introduce Afra Howlader. Today, Afra will receive her Bachelor's of Science in Public Health with minors in Global Studies and in Sociology. From York, Pennsylvania, she first arrived at Drexel in the fall of 2017. Afra is most passionate about public health practice in the areas of global health, international development, and migration. During her studies, she completed internships with multiple nonprofits in Philadelphia, addressing sexual health, immigration, and education. And after graduation, Afra hopes to work in a governmental capacity to improve disparate health outcomes and empower marginalized communities. Afra will address us on behalf of the undergraduate class of 2021.
Hello, graduates, faculty, family, and friends. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's ceremony. Although we are celebrating unconventionally, it's very important to recognize the tremendous accomplishments, the bonds, and the memories we've created over the last few years. As I reflect on the last 4 years at Dornsife, I cannot help but think of the magnitude of the sacrifices it took for me to be here, standing here, speaking to you all today. Most often, I think of my dad, who went to school in rural Bangladesh, writing his notes on banana leaves and making the 3-mile uphill trek to school each day. Little did he know that one day, his daughter would be making the treacherous 3-foot trek from her bed to her desk. I cannot help but think of my mom, who worked multiple jobs and maintained our household so my sister and I could chase our dreams. You are truly my hero. Thank you both for believing in me, celebrating every small achievement, and letting me check out as many books as I wanted at the library as a kid. Today is yours to celebrate as much as it is mine. And this is true for everyone in our support systems. Every graduate today has someone who invested in their success because they believed in you, whether it was a loved one, a new friend, or even someone you sat next to in class. I want to take this time to highlight just a fraction of our amazing supporters here at Dornsife. Our professors who nurtured our academic interests no matter how niche they were. The academic affairs team for working behind the scenes to fix our plans of study even before we knew there was an issue with them. The student affairs team who planned out amazing, thoughtful events to connect our diverse community. The maintenance team for making Nesbitt Hall the most clean and welcoming building on campus. On behalf of all the graduates today, we thank you endlessly. I can speak for the undergraduates on how formative these last 4 years have been. During Welcome Week, we sat bright-eyed in a Nesbitt classroom, hailing from different areas of the state, country, and world, sharing the common interest of social justice and service, even if we weren't sure entirely just what public health entailed. We embarked upon the Mural Arts Tour to explore Philadelphia and bonded over the moving depictions of our new home's rich and unique history. Even after we embark on our own journeys today, I am comforted knowing that we all share a passion for equity, social justice, and health as a human right. I am confident that we are the future of our field. I hope that after we part ways today, you know you have left an immeasurable impact on this school. You will always have someone to talk to, someone to laugh and rant with, and to reflect with on all you've accomplished at Dornsife. We will always be bonded by our shared experiences and passions. Congratulations again to the class of 2021. And I hope you get to celebrate a little extra today. I mean, you got a public health degree in a pandemic.
Thank you, Afra, and congratulations to you as well. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Assistant Dean for Students, Fee Nguyen, who will recognize this year's Dornsife Award recipients and student honors.
It is an absolute pleasure and honor to acknowledge and recognize public health graduates who have received special recognition and honors. The first is the Delta Omega Public Health Honor Society. Dornsife School of Public Health is home to the Beta Omega chapter of Delta Omega National Honor Society. Delta Omega is the National Scholastic Honorary Society established in 1924 to recognize scholarship, devotion to public health principles, and outstanding service in public health. Membership in the Delta Omega National Honor Society is awarded to those students in the upper 25% of their class academically and who reflect a commitment to excellence in the application and synthesis of public health principles, as well as to the protection and improvement of population and community health. All of the Delta Omega inductees and graduates will receive a certificate commemorating their induction into the National Honor Society, as well as a lapel pin and a stole from the school signifying their commitment to excellence. Congratulations to the newly inducted Delta Omega graduates. The next recognition is from Drexel University. I would like to recognize those undergraduate students who have demonstrated outstanding academic achievement at Drexel, as reflected in outstanding final grade point averages. Students who graduate with a GPA between 3.5 and 3.7 are designated cum laude, or with honor. Will cum laude graduates please give yourself a round of applause at home? Those graduating with a GPA between 3.7 and 3.9 are designated magna cum laude, or with outstanding honor. Will our magna cum laude graduates please give yourself a round of applause at home? Students graduating with a GPA of 3.9 or higher are designated summa cum laude, or with highest honor. Will our summa cum laude graduates please give yourself a round of applause at home? Congratulations to all of you. In the spirit of honoring exceptional student achievements, we wish to recognize the student recipients of the Dornsife School of Public Health Awards for 2021. Recipients for the Mentor Recognition Award are Isla Chapman and Ilakem Togo. This award recognizes the outstanding contributions to the student body in the areas of mentorship, advisement, teaching, or other service to the school. Congratulations. Recipients for the Outstanding Promise Award are Chanyoung Park and Mariah Manano. This award recognizes students who have exhibited great promise for regional or national societal impact, and accordingly for enhancing Drexel's reputation now and in the future. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Fee, and congratulations to all the awardees. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Kenneth Olden. Dr. Olden has been an international leader and a true visionary in bringing a multidisciplinary health equity lens to environmental health. Originally trained in physiology and biochemistry, Dr. Olden advanced through the academic ranks at the National Cancer Institute, achieving the rank of tenured independent investigator, and subsequently became a professor in the Department of Oncology, scientific director of the Howard University Cancer Center at the Howard University Hospital, and was later promoted to director of the Cancer Center and chair of the Department of Oncology. After that, as if that weren't enough, from 1991 to 2005, Dr. Olden served as director of NIHS, the National Institutes of Environmental Health Sciences, which is part of the NIH. He made history as the first African-American man to direct one of the institutes of the National Institutes of Health. As director of NIEHS, he pioneered a truly broad approach to researching and intervening on the environmental determinants of health that integrated environmental assessment and genomics with a social determinants framework, something that those of us who were working in this field at the time were absolutely thrilled by. He launched new programs focused on environmental justice and community-based participatory research and convened public health agencies, researchers, and community activists to identify research and public health needs of socioeconomically disadvantaged communities. A true transformation, not only for NIEHS, but also for NIH generally. After leaving NIH, Dr. Olden served as founding dean of the City University of New York School of Public Health, where he continued his visionary leadership and was a major proponent of a problem-focused approach to public health that integrates social, behavioral, and biological factors. And if this were not enough, he subsequently served as director of the National Center for Environmental Assessment at the Environmental Protection Agency, where he revitalized and expanded several key programs. Dr. Olden has really been a transformative leader, pushing the boundaries of scientific research on environmental health to have a broad and integrated view, incorporating community input and addressing key ways in which our environment contributes to health inequities. He was a champion and visionary for health equity long before health equity became a common term. And he was among the first to make the case that investments in the Human Genome Project would not solve the mystery of human diseases because the environment plays such a key role. He was one of those who popularized the phrase, genetics loads the gun and environment pulls the trigger. We in public health have a lot to be thankful for Dr. Olden for. His influence on public health and environmental health will be long-lasting, and we are very grateful to have him join us to speak to us today.
Good afternoon. Thank you, my good friend Anna. It's so good to see you, even virtually. So I'm grateful to have the opportunity to address the future leaders in public health. I want to congratulate you on your success in these very difficult times. You have spent many years acquiring the skills to solve the nation's public health problems. Today, I want to speak about the relationship between economic inequality and health disparities. Both income inequality and differences in life expectancy have been increasing since the 1980s. Earnings at the bottom of the income scale have stagnated, and income for top earners has risen. For example, the minimum wage was $7.25 in 2009. Today, it is still $7.25. In contrast, Jeff Bezos' wealth increased by 28-fold during the same period of time. Mark Zuckerberg's wealth increased by 58% in the same period of time. In the US, we tax income and not wealth. According to the Federal Reserve Report, a Federal Reserve report released last year, the wealthiest 1% of Americans saw their net worth increase by $21 trillion, and the bottom 50% of Americans saw their net worth decline by $900 billion over the past 30 years. Income inequality in America has skyrocketed over the past 4 decades to the point that we are approaching the unprecedented levels of inequality not seen since the Great Depression of the 1920s and 1930s. Income inequality in America is higher than in any high-income country other than Mexico, Turkey, and Chile. And the percentage of people living in poverty in America has grown faster than in any high-income country other than Israel. On any given night, more than 500,000 Americans are homeless. Low-income earners in the United States are living without financial security. It has been reported that 63% of Americans do not have enough savings to deal with a $500 emergency. Income inequality is breeding hopelessness among the population of people who feel that there is no longer a path to better themselves. As the gap in distribution of income grows, so does the gap in expectancy between the rich and the poor. Over the past 30 years, the life expectancy gap between Americans in the bottom 10% of income earners versus those in the top 10% of income earners has grown by 3.5 years. Another study showed that the richest Americans gained 6 years of life expectancy from 1980 to 2010, while the life expectancy for the poorest remained unchanged. The downturn or tapping of life expectancy starting about 30 to 40 years ago is extremely unfortunate. Given that the remarkable gains in life expectancy over the 20th century, about 25 to 30 year increase, was never really fully realized by all Americans. There remained large disparities in health and life expectancy between neighborhoods, even within the same metropolitan area. For example, a 25-year difference in life expectancy has been reported between two neighborhoods in New Orleans, Louisiana, that are less than 3 miles apart. 25-year differences in life expectancy. Residents in neighborhoods with the best health outcome are better educated, have a higher median income, and are majority white. One zip code is a better predictor of one's health than the genetic code. The growing gap in distribution of income in the United States is the key driver to the persistent and growing disparities in health. How you as leaders in public health deal with these two issues will become the defining challenge of your generation. While we have made significant progress in health disparities research over the past 40 years, it is clear that we have not made much progress in eliminating inequalities. Health disparities related to income inequality is an equity issue in that it is both unfair and preventable. Can we improve population health without closing the income gap between the rich and the poor? Study shows that health tends to be worse in societies where the income distribution between the rich and the poor is wider. The remarkable increase that I just referred to, 25 to 30 years over the 21st century, paralleled the institution of progressive economic policy during the New Deal. There is now a significant body of evidence to support the conclusion that economic inequality influences the health of the population. Yet, health is not on the minds of policymakers when debating economic policy. In policy debates about how to improve the health of the American people, the debates typically focus on ways to reform healthcare and health insurance. Think of the Affordable Care Act. The issue of redistribution of income through taxes and wages as a tool to improve population health never enters the discussion. The rapid growth in poverty and the growing gap in income and life expectancy in the United States, the richest country in the world, are due to our social and economic policies. They are the result of the choices we have made. If we want a different outcome, it is within our power. Until recently, the United States was considered the model nation for blending the principles of equality and capitalism to strike the most productive balance between promoting the public good and innovation and economic growth in the private sector. But the government issued guardrails that curbed the excesses of market-driven capitalism have slowly collapsed over the past 40 years under the weight of special interest. And now the dominance of capitalism serves as an engine to redistribute income upward. The COVID-19 pandemic exposed the gaping hole in our public health safety net. It exposed the millions of people in America who are living from paycheck to paycheck. To paraphrase Warren Buffett, the COVID-19 pandemic was the receding tide that exposed those who were swimming naked. Although the government has spent millions of dollars and researchers have published hundreds of papers documenting the important role of poverty, race, and disproportionate exposure to environmental toxicants play in causing poor health. We have the knowledge, we have the technologies, but this data is rarely considered in priority debates on how to improve the health of the American people. In conclusion, our economic policies are generating both devastating poverty and shorter expectancy for low-income workers. The authors of the Green New Deal got it right by linking the climate crisis with our economic system. We need a third reconstruction to improve the health and quality of life for working class Americans. Again, I congratulate you and wish you much success in the future.
Thank you so much, Dr. Olden. Thank you, Ken, for that incredibly powerful and inspiring address. We hope to be able to welcome you to our school sometime in person in the not too distant future. So thank you so much. Our graduates have a lot to think about. In this ceremony, we have paid tribute to the graduating class of 2021. I look at the two students we have here because I see them. So they represent everyone who's watching us virtually. Now it is the graduates' turn to salute those who have helped them along the way, the family members and the loved ones who have supported them and helped them and guided them. So please greet each other and thank each other. We want to take a moment to recognize all of the parents, spouses, partners, children, and loved ones of the students who are graduating today. We couldn't have done it without you. From all of us, thank you. I also want to thank the faculty and staff at the school who have worked so hard over the course of the pandemic to keep things going and overcome all the challenges that we have all been facing. So thank you all. So congratulations once again. We are excited to continue the graduation activities tomorrow, Friday, June 11th, with the university-wide commencement at Citizens Bank Park, beginning at 7:30 p.m., where all degrees will be formally conferred. We hope to see many of you there. And once again, congratulations to our graduates. And please continue watching for individual recognition of all of our graduates today. Thank you for joining us.
Doctoral degrees: Dina Christensen, Matthew Kearney, Maxwell Pistilli. Master's degrees: Noura Akkad, Alicia Amin, Anna Armstrong, Zachary Babel, Leah Bakley, Saloni Basukala, Brianna Bingham, Jillian Bone, Anna Bostic, Rachel Brown, Jay Budd, Sarah Caldwell, Rebecca Carper, Hunter Citron, Gabrielle Connor, Mary Conroy, Alexis Koulibaly, Sierra Cuellar, Samuel Zersky, Adrian Diogo, Sherifa Duhaney, Lauren Dai-Neti, Tobechukwu Aize, Patrice Farquharson, Kelly Fair, Jacob Ferguson, Alyssa Furukawa, Jifeng Gao, Roseanne Ganbari, Sachuru Ghosh, Mary Glazer, Wesley Goodman-Levy, Michelle Goodwin, Susanna Greenwood, Zuhaib Halim, Nikesha Johnson, Matthew Joy, William Kaiser, Neha Kansal, Chahita Kanugo, Harjat Kaur, Maureen Klopp, Selena Ko, Priyatham Kurapati, Fuloshadi Lod Hammond, Christina Leichel, Janelle Layden Knowles, Jennifer Mainville, Bevan Mankey, Joanna Marzano, Mariah Minano, Carrie Miley, Stephanie Miller, Deja Moore, Gabrielle Mullen, Ashley Naguda, Sandra Nanosi, Maria Newbert, Duong Nguyen, Gayla Novotny, Inhunana Nwoji, Oriolua Oladimeji, Puja Patel, Foram Patel, Nathaniel Phillip, Tinsy Phillip, Armani Pierre Jacques, Paulina Pock, Danielle Pryor, Alexandria Regina, Martina Risch, Peyton Scott, Reem Scher, Francesca Specie, Maya Stallings, Camry Staples, Sydney Stern, Lanisha Sullivan, Abigail Tammy, Mary Beth Taylor, Ngui Taeyong, Ellie Kem Togo, Ashley Trentz, Alicia Verdeflor, Vara Anusha Vijapu, Manali Vora, Nahithi Wuna, Kara Beck, Teresa Franz, Emily Joyce. Bachelor's degrees: Sydney Bierig, Gabrielle Breezy, Isla Chapman, Usman Diarra, Thea Edmond, Mark Fadak, Victoria Galogi, Luna Gao, Liam Giberson, Danielle Hamilton, Hope Hannigan, Tyra Howell, Afra Hallider, John Huey, Elin Ishtaklav, Layla Enzakili, Shanyong Park, Isabel Russell, Raghav Seth, Stephanie Sanshoya, Balkrit Sidhu, Ying St. Cerny, Samiha Tashin, Amanda Tufano, Mila Marquet Ariana Mary Waller, Jordan Wood,